And welcome back here to EGL Live. This next segment, the PEGI ratings and the UK government, is brought to you by Jobs for Gamers. Check that out. I think they have a website. You can get a job in gaming. Just go to that website, sign up, and we're sure that you'll have work soon.
We can't guarantee that. Read the small print.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. What a great idea.
Yeah.
What a great idea. Anyways, so PEGI ratings in the UK government. Of course, this has caused a lot of concern, especially for the Call of Duty community. Games that are 18 plus, some events stick to that, even though they let little kids into the event, so it doesn't even make sense. Other events like ourselves go with a 16 plus parental consent method. So let's first talk about how our kind of approach to it. And this comes back to a very long time ago with X League and how they worked around it. And basically, quite a few lawyers have been involved. The whole idea that we're not supplying the content for people to play. We're actually just supplying the Xboxes for people to play on. So obviously, anyone who's under 18 has had to get their hands on the game somehow. On top of that, the chances that you're attending one of our events suggests that you probably play that game a lot. So much so that it's probably pretty difficult for you to hide that from your parents. So you get a parental consent form. You have the copy of the game. To us, you're good to come in as long as you're over 16. Under 16, too bad, see you later. Now, other events, they tend to go with 18 plus, but they allow small children into the venue to watch those games, which is, I think, a lot more ridiculous. Now we move into kind of the territory of the DMCS, which is the Department of Media, Culture and Sport. Then there's UKI, ELSPA, a lot of different committees clashing about exactly who should reign over the game ratings and what should be law in the UK and what should be suggested. For a very long time, PEGI was just suggested in the UK. The BBFC reigns king when it comes to content. They are the people who rate films and have always been involved in rating games, and what they say is law. If you can't go watch an 18 plus movie, you can't buy an 18 plus game. So, but you can do that in your own home. So the BBFC doesn't reign over your own home. Your parents can show you an 18 plus movie, and then there's PEGI. PEGI is kind of, like they've got the two fists for a violent game. They have discrimination warnings, and then of course the age ratings. What a lot of people don't realize is that it actually is law in the UK. It's been law in the UK since 2010, and it all came into effect with a digital economy bill. So, which had a lot to do with copyright and stuff. You might have remembered a lot of people had a lot of hoo-ha about it because it's actually part of the reason why people can get kicked off the internet for downloading films and so on here in the UK. They incorporated PEGI then, but at the same time, the BBFC still also rates films. So the stance by UKI and which is the UK Association for Interactive Entertainment, is that, and also ELSPA, which is the game developers, is that the BBFC should just go away. They can just do movies. PEGI can look after films, BBFC can look after films. PEGI can look after games, and we're all fine. And there's a huge fight about this, which in turn means that until PEGI becomes like full-fledged on its own law, people assume it's going to affect what we do and what other people do. I'm just blabbing on now, Chris, so you can step in and maybe discuss
It's because somebody just messaged me with the words "looking very serious," so I thought, it made me chuckle. But yeah, it's really an interesting concept. I mean, on the one hand, like how much damage does a game do? A lot of the government particularly are keen to point things at gamers. There's been documentaries about, on the odd case. I mean, how many gamers is in the world? And then like one guy acts up, and then, I mean, acts up is a bit of an unbelievable understatement, but one person does something, and that apparently reflects everyone else who's gaming in the world. But that's almost like saying, oh, marriage should be banned, because what about all the domestic violence and stuff like that? You can't judge everyone off one thing. It's ridiculous. It's the equivalent of it's, well, you know what I mean? It's, you can't, that discrimination just doesn't really work, and there's no solid evidence to back that claim. But regardless of the situation we're in, obviously BBFC, the games like Call of Duty's 18 plus, for example, even though that probably only really reflects the age rating of the single player. But the BBFC's official stance on it is, as long as we don't supply the game or sell the game, then anything else, that's it's kind of a grey area, and it's if parents are willing to allow their kids to do it, then that's fine. So that's why we obviously have the age rating thing. And like you've already touched on, I don't want to point fingers at anyone, but it's you can either go all or nothing. You can't say that not allowing people to play an 18 game, like you can't allow people to play an 18 game and then let people watch it. Surely that's the same thing. I mean, does making it interactive mean that your kids are more likely to be affected? I don't know, like where the logic is with that. And I was particularly disappointed that a particular member of the esports community came onto the show and was actually accusing us and EGL of actually trying to take advantage of kids and take their money by allowing them to play a game that technically they shouldn't be allowed to play. So I mean, and that is just a ridiculous claim, to be honest, and it's almost quite offensive that they suggest that, because at the end of the day, their parents have decided that they're happy for their game to get this, they're happy for them to get this game, and so it's like, yeah, I don't see the issue really.
The funniest thing I find is that guaranteed that the majority of these people who are critics of this played games that they were too young for, and watched films that they were too young for multiple times in their lives. Like it's it's absolute BS at the end of the day.
What about music as well? Like you can only have a parental guidance on music, but surely music, there's like a limit of how thingy music is. One second, apparently my mic's gone a bit weird.
It's because you keep hitting it.
Is that better?
Oh wow.
Is that better?
That's weird. Whatever.
Can I get somebody to confirm to me on Skype that that's actually better?
Yes.
This wouldn't happen in an MLG podcast, would it?
No. No. It's fine.
No, anyway,
okay, so yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of round this out because people are probably bored and want to know where EGL 6 is. PEGI is not affecting us right now. It probably won't affect us once the BBFC goes away, and PEGI is the sole rating system for games in the UK. The same system, PEGI is the only system used in France, Austria, the Netherlands, Slovenia. Lots of events happen. Netherlands, France has LAN events, and it's not affecting them. So at the moment, don't worry about it. We've got lawyers. We have people to guide us through the PEGI versus BBFC thing. And at the end of the day, we're also a member of Yuki. So we have to kind of play our cards with them correctly. Now, on a personal note, kind of out to you guys, and I know it's kind of lame, but at the same time, it's important, and that is take advantage of your local politician. Write to them and tell them that, what is an age? You can be 18 and join the army, but you're barely allowed to play a virtual.
You can drive a car.
Well,
you can drive a car. Where's the logic with that? You can have sex at age 16.
Fighting the army at 18, it's all ridiculous. It is just absolutely ridiculous. So write to people. Go ahead.
I was about to say, in response to my mic being knackered, I just had 32 people say to me that it was fine now. So I think I've got official confirmation on that it is actually better. So not to change the subject.
Well, now that your mic is fixed, we'll take a break. Coming up, when we return, we've got the announcement for EGL 6. Where, when, and what. We're also actually going to talk about EGL 7 as well. We're not going to give away the location, but we're definitely going to give you some hints on how and what, how it's going to work. So stick around. We're also going to talk about Black Ops 2 and the trailer and the launch for that. So coming up here on EGL Live, all that and more.